Well, what do you know? I was right. Hey, welcome back to the weekly crypto review. I wasn't here last week. I was busy at ETH Denver. I put together some videos. I've got more video to put together on that whole thing, but I was busy the entire weekend. I was shooting video of the main stage when they came and announced the hack of BZX on Saturday. That was kind of interesting. But let's take a look at what's going on in crypto. So first off, as always, if you feel the information that I'm giving you is valuable, please give a like, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and if you really want to, give a gift of crypto to any of these addresses. You can find these at cryptocureencies.tv/support. And let's take a look at what we've got here. So I'm looking at all of the different cryptos, at least the top 100, and it's down, just like last time. My last video was, hey, we made it over 10 grand and then it was down below. Well, we're back down below 10 grand. We went back up to 10 grand and dropped back down below again. That's not surprising at all, at least for Bitcoin. Not surprising at all. It's going to take us a little bit to get above that, and I'll show you why. If we look at the chart, so last time I talked to you was this week here. It was a nice, vibrant green candle, and it looks good. It is a good, solid green body. We got over to last week, and we bounced literally right off. If you look real close, we bounced right off that 10.5 level, and I said we would, because I see all sorts of resistance here, okay? And if we look further back, actually no, I guess if we look further back, there really isn't. There's a little bit here, but most of that resistance is right over here. We've got lots of resistance here, and so I fully expected that it would not get above 10.5. It's going to take us a little while, and we're going to bounce off. We're going to drop down. We're going to come back up. We're going to possibly bounce off again. And this may happen a couple of times. Or we could come up and shoot right through the 10.5 mark and go back up above this. And if we do, I think this 10.5 line will become support, and we'll be in this channel between 10.5 and 11.5. 11.5, again, we've got resistance right here. We've got it here, we've got it here, and we've got it here. It has been resistance. It was support at one point back here on the way down from all-time highs, but it's been resistance ever since. And so it's going to take some time to get through this 10.5 and this 11.5. Once we get through both of those, we're never going below 10,000 again, ever. I don't see it ever happening again. As always, none of this is investment advice. But from my point of view, and in fact, I did do some buying. We're below $10,000, and I moved some crypto from one into Bitcoin. I moved from an altcoin into Bitcoin to pad my Bitcoin position a little bit, because we're under 10 grand. Why not? I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm simply pointing out that we're below 10 grand, and this is the last time we're going to see prices below 10 grand. I know. We've been saying this. I've been saying this, and everybody else on YouTube has been saying this for, what, a year now? It's taking longer than we expected. But on the other hand, if you look, let me see if I can get. There we go. If we look at, now that I've got my, if we look at how this has gone, if we had gone and done this, okay, where the price had just followed this line, we would have been happy. This would have been a spectacular rise. Instead, we jumped up here and then fell back down. And because of that, we got into, I've heard people talking about this bear market. This is not a bear market. This is simply a pullback. This is a correction. That's all it is. Yeah, it took 6 months to correct, but it's not really a bear market. It's simply a correction within our current bull market that we're in. And so when you look at how this has worked out, and understand, Nobody, not even I, have a crystal ball. We don't know. We don't know what Bitcoin or any other coin is going to do. All I can do is take an educated guess. That's why I called this 10.5 and said, hey, we're going to bounce off this. 10,000 isn't going to be a problem, and it wasn't. In fact, if I look, let's see here. Is this above? I should be. Yeah, this is above. These closes are above 10,000. So 10,000 was not a problem at all. 10,500 on the other hand was. And if we go back here, let's see here. There we go. Make these a little bit bigger, so you can see these candles a little bit better. You can see that the shadow on not this week's candle, but last week's candle, the shadow literally bounces right off 10.5. If we look at what was our high was 10,491. Close enough. 10,491, 10.5. I'll call it 10.5. It's good enough. Round up a little. So this is going to happen. We're going to bounce off 10.5 maybe another time. It may bounce off again. It may go through. I don't know which is going to happen. I think that chances are good that the next time it comes up, it will go through 10.5. But the way things have been going lately, it's just as likely to bounce off again. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. I know for a fact that Bitcoin is not going to drop all that far. It might drop down to, at the very lowest, it might drop down to, I don't know, 8,500, but I think that's unlikely. I think it's going to stay between $9,000 and $10,000, well, $9,000 and $10,500. In that $1,500 range is where I think it's going to stay until it breaks through this 10.5, at which point it's going to go between 10.5 and 11.5, which is a $1,000 range, which in any other asset would be a wide range, but not in crypto. It's going to take a while to break through this 11.5, but once it does, we'll be back going up towards $12, $14, $18, $20,000. We're not going to shoot right up. We're not going to moon. We're going to go up at a gradual, healthy, steady pace, which is what we want. Remember, we're not going to hit our 20,000 all-time highs until after the end of this year, and that's the way it should be. Granted, a weekend at Denver and I caught the crud. But remember, everybody's talking about the halving, which happens in May. Yeah, it probably isn't priced in at this point, but do not expect that as soon as the halving happens that prices are going to jump. That's not how this works. Prices are going to steadily go up until the halving, and then they're going to continue going steadily up after the halving. It's not like the halving is some massive trigger that all of a sudden connotates that, hey, we're going to jump up and become, get all-time highs. That's not how this works. People are making a much bigger deal out of the halving than really they should. Yes, it does. I believe it does create buying pressure on Bitcoin, because absolutely the flow of new Bitcoin into the system is going to be cut in half. That is absolutely going to have an effect on the price, supply and demand. Our supply gets cut in half. Demand stays stable. That right there dictates that price has to go up. So yes, absolutely, I think it's going to have you give upward pressure to price simply because it happens. But it's not going to be dramatic. It's not going to be like somebody set a bomb off and all of a sudden the price just shoots to the moon. That's not how it's going to work. That's not how it's ever worked. So I don't see it working this way this time either. So I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. I just wanted to point out that this 10.5 level is going to be, it's going to be rough. Don't let it bother you. This is how the market works. Remember, the market is full of emotion. When you invest, when you put your money into the market, should have no emotion. You should be putting your money where you logically and rationally believe it will do the most for you. Take all the emotion out of your investment, both putting it in and when and where to take it out. No emotion involved. Remember, we're in this for the long haul. We're looking for a 6-figure Bitcoin. We're not even close at this point. Relax. as CryptoLark says, stack sats and chill. Well, I'm saying just chill, relax, enjoy life. Don't check your portfolio on an hourly basis. Don't even check it on a daily basis. Just sit back and let things happen. It's gonna take some time, but I'll tell you, a year from now, a year and a half from now, you're going to be very excited, assuming that you continue to have money in the market. You're going to be very excited about what you see in Bitcoin. Anyway, that's all I've got for you this week, so keep hodling.